Now, Garmin, when I bring it up, I remember back in the day, Pete, this was like a little device, not much bigger than your cell phone. And you'd put it on your dash and it could give you directions to things. This is long before the internet is what it is now. And people using their cell phones and Waze and Google Maps and all the rest. This was one of the ways people did that. Well, they could have gone the way of the dodo bird because of that, because obviously now everybody's using those products that I just described. But these guys expanded. They expanded into the health craze, Pete, because I see a lot of these athletes wearing Garmin watches because it can tell you how far you've run, your pulse. You know, it's a lot like the watch that Apple makes, only much more sophisticated. And they also have, Pete, this new thing for, for fishing, quite frankly. They have radar, that they can scan and tell you where the fish are. So this is not just about mapping anymore. And Garmin, there's a reason this one is moving the way it is today, and that's because they've changed with the times.
Yeah, it's been absolutely impressive, John. Matter of fact, after going through this and then looking at the balance sheet and trying to figure out everything about this company, this might be one of the best looking companies I've seen, and sitting at 52-week highs. They've done almost everything you could imagine, right, John? I mean, they hit over almost 138 today, pulled back just a little bit after a nice big run to the upside. The PE's 20, the free cash flow is over 600 million. They got no debt at all, and they've got cash of about 1.7 billion. That sounds like a pretty good foundation to me. Oh, and then the gross margins, they went from 57 to 58. They got the operating margins. They went from 20 to 23. Everything that you look at about the quarter, about the company, about the fundamentals, all look very, very good. I remember years ago, it didn't look as good as it does now. And I'm glad that we're talking about this one today because it's impressive. They're doing everything right. And we just talked about 3 different companies that maybe they're not doing everything right. Matter of fact, they might be doing a lot of things wrong. But this is a company that absolutely shines, in my opinion. And when you look at that, you say to yourself, even at a 20 PE, it's probably a little bit cheap. So maybe these 52-week highs are going to see new 52-week highs.
Kudos to the chairman here, Pete, because they could have just folded up their tent. I know a lot of the people that made those little dash top boxes and things like that that you'd plug into your cigarette lighter or whatever to give you directions. If that's all they depended on, they would be a buggy whip maker. But that's not all that they did. And obviously they've innovated like crazy and gotten into the sonar and all the rest of it. So kudos to them, Pete. They do a lot with airplanes too. So it's not just below the sea, it's, up in the air as well.